Hello friends, this is Ramesh Sharma here and you are watching HTML and CSS responsive website series. So we are creating this website, and in the previous part we have created this one. This is opening. So we created a homepage banner here. But we created the homepage banner and it is not responsive. So this is a banner here. So and this menu button is also not working, and these or slider is also not working. So in this video we will complete our home page, and after that we will also set this slider here, and in the next video then we will make this menu bar here, that is our sliding door of menu bar like this. So this menu bar we will create in the next video. So first of all add this slider today, and we will make this navigation bar like this. So when we will scroll this, it turns into black and top will be 0. And after that we will create this, and at last there will be a footer. So now we will create this only. So I will first of all image here. So I think we will not get image link. So I have another image, so I will use that image only. So let's move further. So let's get started. So first of all let's complete this our slider here. So let's add our JavaScript here. So we will make this website responsive in the next, after the series, means when we will complete our website then we will make this website responsive, and I will create two parts for that, for the responsiveness. So first of all let's go to our code here. So this is a code here. So first of all we will need JavaScript here. So index.js is our file here, JavaScript file that we will be using. So first of all let's connect this file. So here will be our script here. So script dot source, and here will be our JavaScript file that is in the JS folder, index.js. So in the index.js, let's first for write here window.onload, and there will be a function here. I will be using arrow function. You can simply use function also. So here we will alert. So alert JS is working. So save it. So whenever window will reload, this alert box will come here with text JS is working. So let's reload it. Why it's not coming? It should come. Okay. Our server is not working. So our server is not working. So let me restart our server here. So here I will write open in browser here, right click and open in browser. So I will be using live server here. So now our server is opened again. So it is opening, wait for it. See that we are getting our JS is working here. So click on OK, this one. So now when I will reload it, see that our JS is working now. So let's move further. So go to index.js here. So first of all we have to declare our constants here. So let's declare a constant. So first constant will be our main here, that is this one image. So first constant will be our this image. So we will target this image here. So what is the class? So we will be using class here. So here this image, this one is here. So this is under the banner. So this is under main, under the banner there is our info. Under the info class there is our img here, and in the img, under the img there is img tag. So that img tag we will taking our its source here. So let's see. So output image. So output image will be our document dot query selector, so it will work like query selector. So it will work like our this jQuery here, $and jQuery. So here we will using, first there is main, under the main there is our banner, and under the banner there is our info div with info class. Under the info there is our image class here. So see that this is our main here. Under main there is banner, and under banner there is info, and under the info there is our image. Then we will target our this image tag. So we want this image tag here, so simply write image tag. So whenever we console this, so this is a dot, means this is our class here. Without dot means this is our tag here. So whenever we console it, console.log output image here. So let's inspect element it. So our debugging tool is opening. I think it is not opened yet. Now inspect element. So wait for it. See that our inspect element is opened, as it is not a responsive here. So because we did not added any media queries here, so because we are not going to make this responsive. So go to console here. So here under the console we will get our element here. So why we are not getting? So I think we have to refresh this. Yes, see that we are getting this image here. So when I will see that we are getting this image, see that when I am hovering on it, and this our image is also focusing here. See that. So when I will focus here, see that this is our same image that we are getting here. So let's move further here. So I will remove this for a while here. So let's move further. So now we want our this. Now we want these all images here. So we want these all images, and with image of class activator that we will use when we will click any image. So here will be our const, that is image thumbnails that we want. So that will be document.query selector all. So because there are many images here, so there are many images tags, so that's why I will use query selector all, and after that for the clicking event I will be applying for each loop here. So let's move to index.html. So what is, so in the main that is main is under the banner is under the main, and under that there is our banner bottom. So banner bottom image thumbnails, so that these all images we want. So for that these all images, so that's why we are using query selector all. These will select all images here. So that is dot main dot banner. Under the banner there is our banner bottom. See that here like that, banner bottom, and under the banner bottom there is our image thumbnails. So these are our image thumbnails here. So under the image thumbnails we want our image here. So when I will console this, so console.log, so I am trying to tell you a difference between query selector and query selector all. So please watch it carefully. So when I will reload this, so see that by adding a query selector all, I am getting all image tags here. So see that this I am also getting a image tag with class active. So see that when I am hovering on it, and see that when I am hovering on this, and this is getting activated and this is getting highlighted. So when I will hover on this, see that this is our active here. So this is our active class. See that dot active means this is having active class here, but in other there is not dot active. So we will catch this dot active when we will apply our for loop and when we will click to any image. So this active will change to this image. So when I will write here query selector, only query selector, then see what will happen here. So when I will reload this, see that we are getting only one image. We are not getting all images. So we are getting only one first image here. So but we want these all images here. So for that we need query selector all here. Okay. So let's move further here. So we will be applying our for each loop here. Image thumbnail dot for each. So for each, here we want our image. So we need a function here. So I'm using arrow function, that is img. It is an argument here. So image here. So when I will console this, console.log img. So when I will console it, see that but will happen here. So see that we are getting full images here. One by one we are getting images here. So now we can apply our click event here. See that we are getting one by one all images here, and these are in all lines here because for each loop is acting like a for loop here. So but it is a different like a map here. So like map in the React, so it is same like that for each. So this is very useful. So now we can select any image here. So let's write image. So because we have selected image, it will return one image here. So it will select all images. So it will select that image. Now image dot add event listener. So we will add a listener here. So click. So when the user will click on a particular image, as we are applying for each loop, so for each loop is running now. So when I will click here, so when I will click on any image, so the for each loop will see that its index, and it will make that our add click event selected here. So our click event will triggered. So now we want a one function here. So here we want to take our active class here. So for that I am copying this, and image thumbnail we want active here. So here we will apply dot active. So because image dot active, that you are also seeing here. So see that when I will write here, see that here you are seeing image dot active. So this is a active class here, but in the other images, see that in other image you will see only dot image. So we are triggering, we are getting this image using when we will click on it. So why we are using this only, means why we are getting this only by clicking of our image here. So because because on the every click our active will change, so that's why we need to get active every time on the click of every button here. So first of all we will remove our class as active here. So dot class list dot remove, we want to remove active class here. So now see what will happen here. See that when I will click here, so when I will click on anyone here, cannot read property, remove of undefined, so it is not getting our image thumbnail active here. So let me see it one again. Okay, so because this is query selector also, that's why we are getting errors, because we are selecting only one active image here. So we need query selector here. So when I will click here, see that now active class is moved. So when I will click here, so we will get error now. So because we have only one active class. So that active class is already removed, so it is not finding any active class now. So how to resolve this? So now what we want to resolve this, we want like this. So when I will click here, this active class will remove and this active class will active here. So here, from here, this class is removed, and the here in this div where I clicked here active class will be triggered. So for that we need like this img dot, because this we are using for each loop. So here img means same like this image here, particular image where we clicked. So img dot class list dot add. So we will add here class active here. So let's see again. So now whenever we click here, see that now this is getting an active class and other class is also removing. Now there is one problem. So we are getting our active class here. So what we want? So now we want to change our image here. So which image class is having active? So that class will be having, means this image will be, should be here. This, whenever we click here, this image should be here. So for that, this is simple here. So first of all we will trigger this. So copy this, we will trigger this source here. So here will be paste out img.sSource will be equals to our this particular mg.source here. So see that what will happen here. So whenever we click here, so see that this our image is changing. I am assigning operator that. So what is our output image? So our output image is this and our input image is this, that is our image thumbnail. So whenever we click here, so click here means image this I am clicking on our img here, image here. So for particular image, its source is assigning to our output image source. So that's why we are getting our this here. So whenever we go to elements here, so here we want where is our, under the info there is our image, see that. So whenever we reload this, basically see that what is our source here, where it is here. See that this is our source here. So basically it is this one, because this is active. So whenever we click here, see that its source is changing, its source is changing. So whenever we click here, see that its source is changing. Whenever we click here, see that now its source is changed now. So this is the logic here, logic behind this our slider here. So now our slider is completed here. So now we will further move to our this next portion here. So we will move to this portion here. So we will create this portion. After creating this portion, then we will move to our this navigation bar here. So first of all we will complete our this portion here. So we will complete this portion, then we will move to our navigation bar here. So sorry for that. Yes, this navigation bar here, this one. So after that there is footer here, then our home page will be completed, and in the next video we will create our this main menu. So let's add this. This is very easy, so let's do it. Now we don't want index.js here, so let's move to our index.html, and under here in the main but outside the banner, under main but outside the banner, we will create our section second here. So here will be our section 2. So section 2. So here ID also will be section 2. Section 2 here. So here we want only one here, like we want two divisions here. First will be our info. So here is our info here, and under the info and after the info we want our image here. So here will be our image, and this is our image here. So under the info, what we want, see that here under the info we want this one, some great pics, h1 tag here. So we want our heading here. So here will be our heading, this one, and we want our paragraph here. So in the paragraph there will be our this dummy text, and then there will be our anchor tag. So a dot link, and it will be hash for a while, or you can say that portfolio hash for a while. So here we want our image here, fa image, and here we want our this explore pics here. Save it. So whenever we reload it, what we will get, see that we are getting this, but see that our navigation bar is not looking good. So first of all, let's set up our navigation bar. So for setting our navigation bar, so we will go to our JS, and here, because navigation bar we are going to apply in many files here. So for that we will create our separate JavaScript file, that is our navigation.js here. So here simply we will not use here like window.onload. So because we here just want window.onScroll here. So when we will scroll here, the navigation bar will change here. So for the now, let's go to index.css, index.html. We don't want index.js here. So here we have to select a navigation bar here. So we will select dot navbar here simply. So here we will create a constant. So constant will be navbar is equals to dot navbar. So class document dot query selector, and here we will select our navbar here. So we selected our navigation bar here. So when window will onload, window.onload. So here we want our function here. So let me console first, console.log window.pagey offset. Okay, here will be equals to. So let's apply our navigation bar also here. Here will be our navigation.js. So let's inspect element this, go to our debugger tool of this JavaScript here, this Chrome browser. It is not opening. It is opened successfully now. So go to console here. So whenever we reload this, see that we are getting our navigation.js in the 0 here. So whenever we'll go here, whenever we scroll this, see that we are getting our this here. So here is window.onload. Okay, here will be window.onScroll here. So window.onScroll. So I am reloading this. See that whenever we scroll our window here, see that we are getting this. So now what we want? So we want when it will be greater than, from here it should work. So when it will be greater than 163, So when it will be greater than one page y offset will be greater than 103, then we will add our class as active here. So here we will write if condition here. If, sorry for the background sound. So if this is greater than 100 here, 163 here. So we want navbar dot class list dot add. So we will add our class as in the navigation bar as active here. So else we will remove this class. Save this. So go to inspect element and go to elements here. So let me close this first. See that here under the main there is, under the banner there is our navigation bar. So there is no active class. So I am reloading this. So under the main there is our banner, under the banner there is our navigation bar. See that no class is active here. So when I will see that one page y offset is greater than 163, see that, so our class gets active here. So now it is greater, so it will remain active. So when it will be less than 163, see that its class is now inactive here. So now let's change this for our active class here. Let's apply JavaScript, CSS here. Here will be our this navbar. So navbar for navbar dot active. So navbar also having class active here. So here we want our top as 0 here. So top 0, and we want background as black here. We want background as black here. So after that, if it is having a class active here, so it is having a class active here, then we also want to change our bars color here. So bars div color. So I am copying this. Also when our navbar will having class also as active here, so I write dot navbar dot active here. So we will change its color to background to white here. So save it. So when I will reload this, see that we will get like this, but there is no transition. So let's apply transition also. So here will be transition 0.3 second linear. So when I will reload this, see that we will get like this. See that, but our navigation bar width is not good. It is not looking good. So let's extend this its width height also. So now its height will be our 60 pixel. So let's see how it will look. See that now it is looking very beautiful. See that our navigation bar is done here. So let's complete this now. Now we don't want any navigation bar.css here. So and we don't want navigation.css here. So we only want index.js here, index.css here. Sorry. So let's target our section 2 here. So here I am commenting here section 2. Section 2 here. So here will be our this dot banner, dot main. Under the main there is our section 2, and position will be relative here. So its height will be 100 vh here, 100 vh that you already know, that 100 virtual height here. So and width is also our 100%, and we want display as grid here, that we already did in our previous part here. So display grid. So please, I am suggesting you please watch my part 1 first before going to part 2. So here will be our grid template columns. So grid template columns. So here will be our 40% and auto here. So 40% and auto. So let's see that. So when I will reload this, see that we are getting like that. So 40% is okay now. So 40% is not looking very much okay. So let it be 50%. So reload this. See that now 50% is looking beautiful. 45 will be okay now. So because we want our image little big here, so now it is looking good. So let's first of all do our image here. So here will be our image and its position will be relative here, and height will be 100% and width will be 100% here. So for same for image also. So see that here will be image and its object fit will be cover here. So when we reload this, see that we are getting like that here. So let's apply here before pseudo class here. So I'm copying this from our image here. So here will be our, I'm pasting this, here will be our section 2 here, section 2, and then there will be our image dot before, and here we don't want to write any, this one here 100% will there, we don't want so skew here. So here will be like that. So let's see when I will reload this, we are getting little bit. So let it be 0.5. See that now it is looking good. Now let's set this our text here. So that is under our info. Copy this, and here will be our info here. Info, its position will be relative here, height will be 100% here, and width will be 100% here. So here width 100%, and we want text align as center here. Text align center. So see that now it is looking good here, and let's target our H1 also. Copying this. What is happening here? Here will be our H1, and we want our margin top to 15%. So let's see. Now margin top to 50% is looking good, little bit good. Let's it be 20%. Now 20% is not also looking good. 30% will good now. Yeah, 30% is looking good. So now let's set its width here. Position is relative, and width will be 80%. So width is equals to 80%, and font size, let it be font size as 3.5 rem. So let this one that we want. This one is looking beautiful. So let it be left, margin left to be 50%, and transform, translate x, because we are dealing with our x-axis, it will be also 50%. Now it is in the center here. So also we want same for paragraph tag here. So here will be our paragraph tag, and width will be its 60%, and its font size will be 1.2 rem. So let's see. we don't want any margin top here, this one. So it is not looking good. Let it be width as 50%. Now it is looking good. See that. Now let's change its color here. So its color will be hash this one. So reload this. It is looking good. And we also want to change its color, paragraph color here, so that we want 666. Save this, reload this. See here. Now it is looking good here. And let's target our this anchor tag here. I'm copying this and paste it. This is our anchor tag. Its position is relative here. And height is equals to height. We don't want anything. We want text decoration as none here. Now we want to make this little bit at the bottom here, so we will use top as 15%. I think it will be good. Top is not margin top, as position is relative here. Margin top is also not. Let me apply bottom here. Bottom to minus 50%. Will it work or not? It should work. Why it is not working? I will apply here margin bottom to 15%. Yeah, now it is working. So let's change the color here. Here first of all padding will be 18 pixel, 32 pixel, 18 pixel from left and right, 32 pixel from 18 pixel from top and bottom, and 32 pixel from left and right. So here we want color as white here, and we want background as this one. So reload this. See here, now it is looking good, but on hover nothing is happening here. So copy and paste this. Here we want on hover, we just want to make this color as dark here. So why our color palette is not coming? So this is looking good. Now we will move to our header also. Footer, sorry, not header. We will move to our footer. So it should work. Yeah, now it is coming. See that we want our dark here. Save it. We don't want this here. So whenever we reload this, see that we are getting like that. So let's move to our footer here. So for footer we will use another CSS file here. So here will be another CSS file, that will be our footer.css. So we will be using footer in every here, means in every page here. So we will be using same footer here. So here will be our section, and under the main here will be our footer here. So we will be using our footer tag. So footer, and its class will be the same as footer here. Now what we have to do, so now we want just one paragraph tag here. So here will be our paragraph tag. So paragraph tag, now we want our copyright symbol here. So simply we will write and copy copy here. So this is its ASCII code here, Unicode here. So at the copy it will give us the copy symbol here. So here we want copy symbol. What will be here? Now we want our current year. So we want our current year. So we will be using JavaScript here. So we will apply here JavaScript script tag here. So script tag. So it will run in different block here. This script tag. So here we want to print this. So we will write new date. So we will getting a date object here. So date. So here we will get our full year. So we will document dot write this, document dot we will print this, document dot write this full year. So save this. So when I will reload this, sorry, I have to reload this function get full year native code. Okay. I have to call this function also, get full year. See here we are getting copyright 2020 here. So we are getting copyright 2020 here. So its height should be, section to height should be not 100 VH, because 100 VH is very much. So here it should be like 50 VH. So what about 50 VH? And I need as overflow hidden here. Overflow as hidden here. Let me reload this. See that this 50 VH is not looking good. So 100 VH is enough here. See that now this is looking more awesome. So this is looking more awesome. Overflow hidden is looking good now. So this is our like that. So we are printing our year, current year. So here after that we want a tag here. So a. So here will be to my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/fullywordwebtutorials, and we will target to our blank page here, and here will be Fullyword web tutorials by Fullyword web tutorials. So reload this. Here we are getting this. So let's style this now. So first of all let's embed our footer.css here. So here our navbar.css, and same here we want our footer.css. Here will be footer.css here. So here because we will be using footer in many F-O-T-T-E-R footer pages. So we will simply write here footer here. Its position will be relative and its height will be 10 VH, 10 virtual height, and width will be 100%, and text align will be center here. So save this. See that we are getting this here. So here will be our display flex, and align items as center here, and justify content as center here. See this, reload this. Now we will get it to our center here. So now let's target our paragraph tag here. Copy this and paste this here, paragraph tag, and its position will be relative here, and its font weight, we want our font weight to be 800. So let's see how it works. So see that it is looking good now. So let's change our anchor tag here. Copy this and paste this here, anchor. Here we want text decoration as none here. So text decoration will be none, and color will be black here. So when we will hover on it, on hover, we want our text decoration as underline here. So reload this. See that we are getting like this here. So this is now working here. So whenever I click here, so it will bring us to the blank page. So blank page, and my channel youtube.com/fullyworkwebtutorial will open here. Fullywork web tutorial will open. So please don't forget to subscribe here. Now our main page is completed. And this one is also applied here. So in the next video we will complete our this menu bar here. This menu bar we will add this main menu here. So now then after that we will start from our portfolio page. So for today this is enough. At last, thanks for watching. If you have any queries, please comment in the comment section. I will definitely respond to it. So please like and subscribe and share this video. At last, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.